Hello, thanks for tuning in and welcome to the pool party. I hope you can swim because we're definitely diving into the deep end with a huge splash of truth, facts, evidence, information, and proof. Swim. Say what you mean. It's talk about talking. How we listen, how we hear, how we speak, how we hear what we're listening to when we speak, how a listener hears what we're saying, if what we're saying, what they're actually hearing and or understanding. Is it clear? Swim. Say what you mean. Well, that's just the beginning of understanding, because after we get that understanding, how do we accept it? How we respond if it's not what we expect is paramount. Are you okay with the truth? Are you man, woman, human, or spiritual enough to accept the truth? Let's find out. Let's do it. Welcome to The Swimming Pool with your host, Travis Bridges.
Bam! That's right, it's The Swimming Pool. SWYM. That is the acronym for Say What You Mean. Question for you. Are you saying what you mean? I certainly hope so. It really makes more difference than you could ever imagine. And it can make the difference in a good life, a great life, or a phenomenal life. Now you pick. Or a god-awful, confused, chaotic life. So let me repeat that. Saying what you mean and meaning what you say could make the difference between a good life, a great life, a phenomenal life, or a crazy, chaotic life. Which one is it going to be? Well, in my latter days, I have chosen to say that I would rather have a phenomenal life because I have found the value of saying what I mean and meaning what I say and sticking to it. Now, of course, so we're not supposed to be perfect. Some of us are. Well, some of you are. But every now and then and again, we might make a mistake, or we may not be able to fulfill a promise for whatever reason, and we have to do whatever we can to make good. But if we get into the habit of saying what we mean, meaning what we say, life can really be phenomenal. So that's what I'm pushing in these days. Listening, hearing, paying attention, and the information you gather along the process can really make the difference. I used to talk about being manipulated, persuaded, or convinced. Many times when you start out with one thought and you interact with someone in a conversation, let's just say, and then after you get all of the information, and then whatever you were thinking, feeling, or believing in the beginning, you may not be thinking, feeling, and believing at the end. One of three things happened, or a combination of all of them. You were convinced, you were persuaded, or you were manipulated into changing. And here's what I would like to hope, that you were just wise enough to listen to all of the information and then just make a sound decision. Sometimes that may take manipulation. Manipulation has a negative connotation to it, so I try not to use that. I like to say someone was positively persuaded to where they made their own decision about what they concluded in the end of all of the information being presented. Sort of kind of like court. You listen to this, you listen to that, you listen to him, you listen to her, you listen to them. You bring in this, you bring in this person to do what they do, what they call them experts. And then after you put all the information together, you start breaking it down, and you can really find the truth if you are willing to wait. Now, if you're on a witch hunt, you're going to get what you're going to get. But I am convinced that there is an answer to every question. There's a solution to a problem. So if you are disturbed about something, take a few of those deep breaths, and then maybe and meditate and ask for guidance on how to get to the end of something you're not sure about, because there's definitely an answer. I do have a guest. I have two guests that are standing by. I'm going to have to call them. They're waiting for me. And I have a subject tonight that's going to be interesting. You ever heard of that product that you see during sports called Just for Men? It's what we brothers put in our beard and in our hair so that we can look better or look younger. So I have questions about Just for Women. Because Just for Men, I don't know if it's a Just for Women. If it is, I don't know about it. Gray hair or gray hound? Which one are you? Might be a touchy subject, and I want to ask for forgiveness now if I get in any trouble, because I do have a video at the end. It's a little lengthy, so I've got to be careful not to be too long, because the person at the end, they go into, their experience with the transition from gray. I find that many people, women in particular, don't like gray hair. And let me just go ahead and admit it. I like it. I think women who wear particularly their own hair and their own everything natural, I find that just a little attractive. Don't get me wrong. A lot of makeup, a lot of push-up stuff, to make you look attractive temporarily, I guess that's good. But when it gets down to where the rubber meets the road, nothing beats the natural beauty, particularly in women. So I hear a lot of women say, oh, you men, you look distinguished when you get a little age. Well, thank God for that. And I'm not going to say, one way or the other. I remember when I first started going gray, I would wear out some shoe polish or some mascara or whatever I could find black to hide them. But after a while, I was like, why am I going to keep doing that? It's just too much time. And I have to embrace who I really am, not who I want people to think I am in terms of my look. Now, I was talking to someone earlier today. It's confession time. Y'all promise not to judge me. Every now and then, I'm saved, I'm set free, but I haven't always been delivered, because every now and then, one of those 4-letter words will fly out of my mouth before I think about it. I have to just, ask for forgiveness. But I try not to do that in public. If I'm talking to someone personally and one of those words fly out, I'm a little forgiving of myself, but it's just not something I try to make a habit of doing, particularly in public. I'm getting off subject. Tony Morrow is in the house. Thank you, Tony Morrow. And 3 other people are in the house with me. Thank you guys for being there with me. I want to try to stay on subject because, again, I have 2 guests and a clip at the end I'm going to play. But let me get back to my point. I think, guys, I guess it doesn't matter. If you want to be gray, be gray. And I'm not sure if you look young, because every now and then, because I've become sensitive to it, when I see a man in particular that I know is over the age of 50 and he's all blacked out. I was in the gym the other morning and I saw a dude walk in. He was fresh. When I say fresh, he was fresh. It looked like he walked out of a beauty parlor, because all of his stuff was all black. All of his hair was black. And again, I wasn't judging the man. And if I am, Lord, forgive me. Y'all forgive me too. But I could see that he spent some time coloring that stuff. And he looked good, I guess. Women, they do it too. And I could just tell. And I wonder, I'm going to ask both of my guests, whenever they come in, do they do it for, if they do it for the look, or for, the age, to look younger or to look better? I guess younger is better. We'll find out. But anyway, I'm going to go on and see if I can get my first guest on, and we're going to get on into this. Should be interesting. I really do hope so. I hope it's interesting. Y'all pray with me now here. All right. So here we go. Let's see how this works. Come on now. Oh, yeah, here we go. We're ringing. Just for Women. Gray hair, gray hound. Are you a greyhound? Or are you a gray?
Hello.
Hey, man.
How's it doing?
How you doing? I'm doing good. Thank you. You're live on SWIM, SWYM. That is the acronym for Say What You Mean. Let me tell you a little bit about what my live stream is about. It's simply to bring awareness to how we listen, how we hear, how well we pay attention to what we're actually saying as it relates to how we feel, what we think, and what we believe. Oftentimes, we'll say what we feel, and it may not be consistent with what's actually coming out of my mouth. And I think I have been anointed at such a time as this to catch some of that. Sometimes I do it with my family and my friends, and I get on their nerves sometimes, I know. And then every now and then I'll have a guest on, and I'm not judging you. I'm not waiting to catch you slipping. I just hope that you can be consistent with what you're thinking as it relates to how you feel, believe, and what's actually coming out of your mouth. What do you think of that so far?
I can do that.
Okay, cool. Well, I do have a subject, and I'm told you I'm going to start the clock right now. I'm going to let you go in less than 7 minutes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
The title, first of all, no one knows. I don't mention names, places, or anything. I did give away, a plug for the hair coloring stuff that I was talking about a few minutes ago. That's another story. But no one knows your name. No one will know your name unless they recognize your voice. And my audience is so small, no one will probably recognize. So let's get right into it. You've heard of Just for Men, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
You know what it is, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the subtitle is Gray Hair or Gray Hound?
Gray hair or gray hound?
Yeah. Okay. What are your thoughts about coloring your hair? Do you color your hair, yes or no?
No, sir.
You don't. Have you ever colored your hair, yes or no?
No, sir.
You've never put any kind of color treatment in your hair?
No, sir.
Do you have gray hair?
Very little.
Okay. Do you recall when you first started showing signs of gray? How long ago was that, roughly?
Probably about not even 5 years ago. And
Okay.
I'm 62.
Oh, wow. I didn't mean for you to give your age, but some of us are not embarrassed. But so
No, I'm not embarrassed by it, but it took so long for me to get gray hair.
okay. So it doesn't bother you at all to have gray hair.
No, sir.
Okay, you're consistent with most men. Now, I do know that sometimes when men are in the media, they want to look, younger or better. I don't know. And I see it there a lot. But let me ask you this question, and you can be careful if you want to, and I'm trying not to get in trouble.
No problem.
Okay. Because I know you're heterosexual, and not that that matters, but as it relates to your attraction to the opposite sex, women, what are your thoughts about women who color their hair?
I really never gave it any thought. As long as it looks nice to me, as long as it's well kept and it's groomed, I'm straight. I don't have a problem with that.
That is a very open mind. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let's just say if you had a preference, let's just say if you had a preference, would you prefer natural hair or color treated hair?
I'm kind of on the fence on both of them. Like I said, my preference is I like long hair, and it really doesn't matter. I'm not a fan of the short style. I like long hair.
Mm-hmm.
That's my take on that.
What about natural hair? What if it's long and it's like maybe either extensions or weaves or pieces or whatever they call them? What do you think of that?
Long as it's well kept and maintained, I'm good. And you could discern that. You could check that out. If it's well kept, it's like she goes every week, every 2 weeks she has an appointment, or she gets it braided, she gets it plaited, whatever. As long as it's well kept, I'm good with that.
Okay, you're pretty open.
Yeah.
How many girlfriends do you have? No, you don't have to answer that. No.
Really, not none right now because I've been working on myself. I recently have come through a little bit of trauma, and I've been getting myself back together. And it's coming together very well. I've been eating right, exercising. I've been taking care of self.
That's good. Well, as a matter of fact, as long as you're doing that, you're going to get what's coming to you. You're going to get what you're supposed to get. So, congratulations on the newfound energy to self care, and best
sir.
wishes for finding, a mate if that's your heart's desire. I do have another question though.
It is, but like I said, I just need to get self right.
Okay.
And I'm right there, bro. I'm right there. Blood pressure 118/78.
Awesome. That's good blood pressure. You're a healthy man too. That's good.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, people, I was going to say women, but I want to talk about both because I want to stay on my time here. People that are embarrassed of their gray. What are your thoughts about that?
That to me, that shouldn't be a subject. I look at gray hair as wisdom. In order for you to get gray hair, you have to been on this planet a long time. Some people get it genetically early in life, but if you have gray, I call it wisdom, where you've been around and you've been doing pretty much the right thing to have gray. Because a lot of people don't live long enough to get gray hair. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay, but the feeling of many people suffer from insisting that they don't want gray hair or gray roots, and they will not go out of the house or go to any function without coloring their hair. Is it psychological? Is it emotional? Is it a combination? Just your thoughts real quick on anyone who...
On that right there, that's a combination of both things. That's psychological, mental, it just goes with the territory. A lot of people, they take gray hair as a sign of getting old. I take gray hair as a sign of getting wisdom. You have done something right in your life if you start getting gray hair and you're still on this side of the dirt. You feel me?
Okay, well, let me just tell you, I said to my audience, and I'll probably say it again with my next guest, I find older women who mature well. Some people don't age well, and that's not to say it's good or bad. I mean, it's just my opinion. But people that age well with gray hair, I find it to be very attractive, women in particular. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. So any closing thoughts on aging and gray hair before we go?
No, I must agree with you on that. That's pretty well said. That, like I said, with the gray, with the hair, the natural, the braids, the artificial, if it's well kept and maintained, it gives off the appearance that you care. You care a little bit about self-image. You know what I'm saying? If it's well kept, you can have that gray, but if it's cut right and it's maintained and it's taken care of, you can tell. You can tell right off the bat that somebody really cares about, how they present themselves when they come out.
Okay. Listen, man, I'm going to keep my word, and we're a little under the time. So I want you to come back on another time. We can have a whole different subject. And I know you agreed to do this at the last minute. I appreciate it. I'll send you the link when I hang up, and you can watch it because, of course, we're live right now. But I'm going to let you go. I'm going to get another guest on. Thank you so much. And you'll come back and do it with me again, will you?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Put me down as a topic.
Okay.
As a topic. You call me anytime, and I'm right here with you, bro. I got you.
All right. And I'm going to get with you anyway. We're going to have to go out and grab some lunch within the next couple of days. So I'll be in touch in a couple of days.
All right.
Okay.
You have a good one.
You got it, man. Appreciate you. Thanks again.
Bro.
You got it.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there you have it. Another guest that I am grateful for and I am appreciative of. And we're moving right along. Hey, Jackie, how you doing? Appreciate you much. I've got another caller coming up, and then I'm going to try to get out of here. Well, I'm still on time pretty good. Let me get my other caller on, and we're going to get right into it. Now this next caller is
Hello?
hey.
Hey.
Hey, we're live on Swim right now. Is this a good time for you?
Sure.
And you didn't sneak and hear what my topic was. You have no idea what we're going to talk about, right?
No, I
Okay.
don't.
I'm going to let you go within, I'm going to say 12 to 15 minutes, maybe even less time. But the subject is just for women. You've heard of just for men before, haven't you?
No.
It's a product. It's a product that you see usually during sports, and I know you probably don't watch sports or even TV for that matter. But
Oh, it's like a beard dye or something.
beard
Is
and
that
hair,
what?
yes, just
Okay, yeah,
just
I
for
do know
men.
it.
So you've heard of it,
Yes.
but you've never heard of just for women.
No.
No, because you don't have to. Women have their own, style for coloring whatever it is they want to color. And that's what my topic is, just for women. Gray hair or gray hound? Okay, so I want your thoughts on people turning gray, people not wanting to turn gray, and people who hide their gray. What are your thoughts on maturing and exposing gray hair?
Exposing gray hair? I'm
Revealing,
not.
exposing, not hiding
Well,
it,
I
not
think.
coloring it.
Yeah, I don't. I think that some people like gray, and they let their hair. They'll let it gray, and it looks nice. I don't particularly like gray hair on me, so I absolutely dye my hair. But I've seen some women and more often men, I think they call them silver foxes or something, and they look, amazing. But it's not my thing, not right now.
Okay, so you do color your hair.
Yeah,
Okay.
since I was 17 years old.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Now you're not 17, and we don't reveal age. If you want to share your age, that's fine, but it's not necessary. Now, when you color your hair, do you color it to look younger or to look better?
I don't think either. I've colored it reddish brown since I was 17 because I like the color. I
So,
was never interested in my hair color, which is like a dark brown type situation. Looks black, but not necessarily black.
and it's your hair has been the same color since you were 17?
Yeah, I think I did a stint, maybe like a year or so when I lived in Ohio, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, when I couldn't get the color because it was, you know, Toledo, Ohio is not like Florida. You can't get everything there. But as soon as I got moved back to Florida, I was dyeing it back. So yes,
And what is that color that you do now?
it's it, um it's a number actually. It's 4R, but it's just really like an auburn reddish brown thing, and it changes over many washes, but it's mostly like a reddish brown type thing.
Okay, and you like the way that looks on you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like it better than any other. Yeah, I'm hesitating because I guess I never thought about it like that, but I guess yeah,
So your color is not to look younger or better, it's just to look like you want it to look.
yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Do you think you will ever go gray?
I have no idea, Travis.
Okay. Just a thought. Okay. So your thought, okay, now I have to be careful. All right. There are people who color their hair, men and women, to look better and or look younger. I want your thoughts, if you care to share a thought, of the psychology that goes into people who are either embarrassed of gray hair or who just don't embrace their age and particularly people who feel, who are embarrassed, don't think they look good with gray. Just give me your thoughts. And I know you can't think for someone, but the mentality of insisting on hiding the wisdom that comes with, the look of aging. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Well, my thoughts are that I can't imagine that anyone is ashamed to be gray. I would think that is more aesthetic. Like they would just they don't like the way that gray hair looks on them, and so they dye their hair. I don't think that dyeing your hair can hide your age. You know what I'm saying? I don't think just because, if my hair was gray, I'm still gonna look however old I am. I don't see that dyeing my hair, whatever color that I dyed, the reddish brown, makes me look younger than I am. I think I look my age regardless.
I agree with that
So, and I guess
100%.
I don't get, yeah, I don't attach. I mean, maybe people are ashamed when they dye
Hold
their hair.
on,
but
hold on.
that's
Just for the
dyeing
record, this is something I've been wanting to, a subject I've been wanting to have for a long time. Many people have said they look old. No one, the people who said it don't want to look old. So I did say ashamed, but when people say that they don't want to look like what they are, then I just use the word, for lack of a better word, ashamed. Many women will not go out with gray hair because they say they feel like they look old. They think other people think they look old. And that's just, I think it's, something psychological, or, something with, a person's self. And I just wanted your opinion.
I've gone out with, my edge is gray. For some reason, just the front, not even in the back. But if I'm not, if I'm not ready to dye, and I don't use like dye, I use henna. But either way, it covers my gray. But I'm still going out with the gray until I feel like, because it's a whole production. To dye it, to put the henna on it and let it sit there. So I'm not always pressed to do it. But I don't like gray. I don't like the way gray looks on me per se. But I'm not embarrassed. I'm not ashamed. I will walk the street with a gray edges and a ponytail. I'm not that, I don't want to say vain, because that's not, what would I say? Because I don't think it's vanity, but I'm not that bothered by it that I'm dyeing it before I leave the house.
Okay, but
If it's gray.
I want your input on the I guess, because I have to be careful here. I want your input on, because I wished more women in particular, men too, but I'm speaking, that's why I call it just for women. I wish more women would embrace the beauty that I see in gray hair. Especially if you're, 19 and you've got gray hair, okay, so be it. But if you're, pushing 50, and your hair starts to gray, to embrace that says a lot. And when I find, women in particular who don't embrace that, I kind of feel a certain kind of way, because I really like it when I see women with their gray hair, especially, as my other guest said, when it's well kept and maintained, it looks so good, and it just shows
to you guys, not to the people that aren't embracing it.
Oh no,
they just don't like it.
I know.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. We know that it doesn't look good to most women. Well, I'm not contesting that. I know most women don't, but
not even. I don't want to say that it doesn't look good. It's not the best. They think that they look better with a different color. Like, I just like reddish brown here. I don't. It's just pretty to me. It's been pretty to me. But maybe it might be a maternal thing. All of my aunts in the 70s had like reddish brown afros, so that's what I grew up with. And so that's what's pretty to me. And like I said, I'm not, I will gel my natural hair down into up or down into a ponytail if it's gray, so be it. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's still cute curly hair. No matter what color it is, I just have a preference. But you said you're speaking specifically to those women that they won't leave the house because they think, I think it's more of a feeling. If they feel like they look old, then they're probably going to present as looking old. How you look is how you feel. Body is mind.
So that's what I think I'm getting. So that's what I want. I want your specific thoughts on people who feel that way. What are your thoughts on that feeling?
My thoughts is just what I said. If they think that, if they feel like they look old, then they probably do.
Okay. All right.
Yes, it's I mean, every feeling is a choice. If you feel like you look old, then you're probably gonna behave in such a way, or it probably is visceral for them. The gray hair probably creates this type of feeling for them where it's like, oh my God, my age is showing or whatever. But I mean, I don't necessarily believe that when they dye their hair that they look younger than they did with the gray hair. They're choosing to feel different when they dye their hair, and they can just choose to feel good either way.
And on that note, even if I see a woman in their late 60s or mid 60s or early 60s, and I see like this all one color hair and there's no gray anywhere, I can see through that. And it's not that I'm judging. I can just see that, okay, they probably think they don't look well with the gray. And
Well, let me offer you this right quick. So maybe guys don't understand though. Your hair doesn't grow out to that pretty silver color that you see and love so much. It's more of a beige type situation where it might look, you know what I'm saying? That silver look, that beautiful look, it's a process. It's more of a process than just covering up your gray. You got to use the purple shampoo. You got to get it. You got to dye it gray. Your hair doesn't grow that out. That color is not a normal color, or not a normal, but a natural color. So to have pretty gray hair, they had to go through way more than we do with slapping some dye or header on our hair. So
okay,
it's not
I
as
want to be
easy.
clear
Yeah,
with what
that's
I'm
pretty.
talking about. I can see dye a mile away. I can see color treatment a mile away. And
You
I'm
can't
not.
see it when it's gray though, because you sound like you think that the gray hair that you see that is pretty is not treated. It has to be treated. In order for it to be pretty, it's treated. They
All
might have
hair.
gray, but then they have to get they have to get it. They have to get it. I'm not a beautician, but like I said, they have to get it evened out, dyed gray, and then it has to be treated so that it looks nice and presentable instead of like that beige color like Grady and Sanford and Son. That's generally what it grows out your head looking like. When it's pretty and silky, or one color, or sprinkled, usually if they're not doing it themselves, they're going to a hairdresser.
Well, I have seen both. I've seen women that have no color treatment. Just, I
How
guess
do you
what
know they don't? How do you wait a minute?
I
Are you talking
ask.
about no color treatment gray? Because you
Right.
don't know.
No. I've been doing this I've been wanting to do this live stream, and I'll probably do it a few more times. I have asked. When I see a woman with gray hair, I ask them, is it natural? And what they do. I've had at least
They're
20.
not. Yeah, I'm telling you, you don't know. It's not. If
So
it's
you're
pretty,
saying
more nine times
they
out of
lie to
10,
me?
it's.
So they lie to me because I do ask. I've
Yeah, if
had.
you ask a woman if her hair is colored, if she's gray, is she gonna tell you it's natural? Probably. I don't know. I mean, I might be one of the few that say, hell yeah, I got my hair. But I'm just saying, on average, that pretty silver stuff, it comes with a lot of work. They didn't just wake up like that. They don't just wash and go. It's a process. So even though you're admiring it and you like it, they're doing probably the same thing we're doing, dyeing and treating to make it even and pretty. I mean, we
Okay.
have the exception. You got some of the people with I don't know, certain type of ancestries where it may grow. Actually, no, even if it's silver, it has to be treated. Gray hair, when it's pretty, it's because it's treated. And I know that's a blanket statement, but I don't know. Before you have the conversation again, Google what the process is. They have
Well,
like this whole thing on like Facebook that I'm seeing where the women that have these beautiful gray manes, they're showing you exactly what they have to do, and it's a whole damn lot
I know, but that's
to
not.
make it look
That's
natural.
that's not what I'm talking about.
You don't, but what I'm saying is that you don't know. You're just taking it at face value that you ask somebody if it's natural, and they said yeah, and they could have thought you meant that is their hair growing natural, not if the process is natural.
I have seen women, and I'm going to say this. I'm probably speculating a little bit, that I know that don't even go to a hairdresser. They just do their hair naturally on their own.
These women that I'm talking about that I've seen on Facebook embracing the gray, they don't go to hairdressers, but they still process it. A process is a process.
Well,
whether
I'm
you're
not
going to sit in somebody's chair or you doing the stuff at home.
I'm
It's,
not
it's yeah.
when I
They're
talk
not waking up like that, Travis.
when I talk about processing, I know women, they straighten their hair or they make it curly.
That's not a process. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not the process I'm talking about.
Okay. So what I'm talking about is natural hair, and I have seen many women that hair grow out of their hair that's beautiful when they're aging. And that's what I'm talking about. I can only imagine the tricks and, trades that women go through to get their hair a certain kind of ways. That's not what I'm talking about. But we're out of time. I always appreciate you. And I had so many other things I wanted to go. I am definitely going to do this again because I do have a clip that I'm going to play about a woman who's talking about it. And she might even mention some of those things you're talking about, but we're going to find out in a few minutes. I'm going to let you go on that note, but I appreciate you engaging with me. I really do.
Sure.
And your hair color has always been beautiful. And your age, you look young and youthful all the time. And
Well, thank
whether
you.
I can't even imagine you with gray hair, but I think if for whatever reason, if you embrace it, I think it would say something very different about you. And I think I could find the beauty in your natural gray, just like I see the beauty in whatever it is you do, because you're a beautiful woman and I love you so much. Thank you for being my guest.
Love you too.
Okay, so we're going to
have a
talk.
good
We're going
night.
to do this subject again, and I'll call you probably tomorrow for sure.
All right. Talk to you then.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right. So there you have it, my friends. Another guest, and I think my guest was talking about the process that women go through whenever they have gray hair, and then they do certain things to it to enhance that. I don't doubt that at all. I'm positive, they do. Women are very crafty when it comes to their own beauty. And I see so many women, when they color their hair or when they have it natural, women really do a great job at beautifying themselves. And we appreciate it, as men, when we look at you, no matter what you do. This just happened to be on, aging and gray hair, something that I personally really do like to see and even prefer that. Not saying that, if a woman has, her hair color, treated, I'm going to feel any different, about her, because I'm not. It's just a personal preference, and I have talked to a lot of brothers, and we feel the same way. Except my brother here, who was just on the phone, he likes the idea that if it's well groomed, and I like that too. If it's well groomed and it looks good and well kept, that's what matters more than anything. With that being said, I'm going to play my little promo, and I'm going to come back with my clip that goes in depth from someone who is gray, who does gray processing and natural and all that, and we're going to hear a little bit more about that. With that being said, and in closing, nothing is wrong with gray hair. If you feel like
Music is the universal tool that's
I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. I'm back. If you have gray hair, if you're aging and you don't want to age or show gray hair, fine. No one's judging you. And if someone says something, it's probably, just a preference. And I'm just one person. So I'm not judging anybody or saying anything negative or bad. Okay? So enjoy the rest of your week. Find someone you need to say I love you to. Don't just say it, show it, mean it, and let it be true. Stick around for the clip, though. I'm not coming back after the clip, but stick around for it and see what you get. And send me some comments in there. I was told last week to ask my guests to like and subscribe. I don't guess I want to do too much of that, because if people like my channel, they're going to like it. And if they want to subscribe, they'll subscribe. I don't want to be pushing that. But anyway, I'll be back with the clip that talks about gray hair just for women. Gray hair or gray hound? I'll be right back. Well, no, the clip will be right back. I'll see you next week. Thanks.
Mighty, mighty, mighty horn music. Mighty, mighty, mighty horn music.
As time draws near and you plan your social events, call Mighty Horn Music for a party you and your friends will never forget. From banquets, receptions, family reunions, and church functions to birthday, executive, or private parties, Mighty Horn delivers. Event packages include live musicians, psalmists, comedians, clowns, and a karaoke show that's guaranteed to make you laugh. Mighty Horn Music specializes in providing a variety of music to keep your guests going for hours. Mighty Horn Music. Let us create a custom sound for your special event. From start to finish, Mighty Horn Music will plan your theme, decorate, cater, and entertain your guests with class and style. This year, make your events live with Mighty Horn Music. Call 786-487-7338, 786-487-7338, or log on to mightyhornmusic.com and let's party.
Hey there, welcome to my channel. My name is Renee, and yes, I have gray hair. I transitioned to my natural gray, white, silver hair about 2.5 years ago now. There are so many women on YouTube talking about, should I go gray? What happens when I go gray? What am I going to look like when I go gray? There's all of these questions and videos and talk and chatter about the process of going gray, but nobody really ever talks about the other side. What happens when you've gone gray? What is life like? And there are some things that I wish I would have known before I made the decision to go gray, and I want to share those things with you in my video today.
And I'm going to listen.
So let's just chat about it. Let's talk about our gray hair.
Okay.
So something I wish that I had known before I made the decision to go gray, how long is it really gonna take my hair to grow out? So when I made the decision to stop coloring my hair, I asked my hairdresser, how long is this gonna take? And she said, 2 years. And I heard her. In my head, I'm thinking, no, it's really not going to take 2 years. I thought it would take about 1.5 years. What nobody tells you is the first 6 months really seem to go by pretty quickly. And then the next 6 months, okay, you can deal with it. You can look at yourself every week in the mirror and see things happening. But that last year takes forever. It really takes forever. There were so many times when I just considered doing the big chop just to get rid of the lingering little bits of colored hair at the bottom. It just seemed like I was never gonna get rid of those bits, but I stuck it out. It took me right at the 2-year mark, and then I finally did what I considered the big chop, but really I only cut off some little bits at the end. And now I'm 6 months beyond that final chop, and I am fully gray, completely transitioned, and living my life as a naturally gray-haired woman. And I had no idea.
And you look great.
That gray hair required maintenance. Gray hair requires maintenance.
And that's what my guest said. She said it requires, well, she didn't say maintenance, but she did say she's doing something else. Let's see what else she says. Thank y'all for allowing me to jump in here.
Did you know that? I thought, okay, I'm going to stop coloring my hair. Here on out, all I have to do is show up to my hairdresser and get a haircut. Wrong. That is so wrong. Gray hair, or for me, because I have so much white hair and very light silver gray hair, to keep that looking good, that requires maintenance. And the maintenance is purple shampoo. I didn't know purple shampoo existed. I had never heard of purple shampoo.
And I didn't either until my guest just told me about it. So thank you for preparing me again for this. Let's keep listening.
And once I got a good chunk of a ways into my growing out the gray hair, I noticed that the right here around my face, the white and that light silver was just looking dingy, dull, sometimes yellow.
And that's that beige she was talking about.
So when I talked to my hairdresser, I'm like, what is happening? She said, oh girl, you need purple shampoo. And I've been using it ever since. And
my question is, purple shampoo a coloring or a treatment? That's going to be interesting. I'll stop interrupting.
Purple shampoo, there is a fine line to what is right for you and your hair color. I've done a whole video on purple shampoo, my favorite brand, how I use it, how often I use it, what it does to my hair if I overuse it, what happens if I use the purple shampoo and the conditioner. If you want to see that video, I'll link it right up there. But purple shampoo was a real thing. It is super important to keeping your silver and white hair looking bright and crisp and good. And along those same lines, I never even considered that my makeup would get in my hair. It is a real thing. I can't just run in the bathroom, slap on some makeup, foundation, blush, and go out the door because it will get in my hair. And that is bad. There is no getting it out. You can't just get a bunch of blush in your white hair and wipe it out when it gets in there. It doesn't work like that. So I have to wear a headband, get it around my face, be very, very careful putting on my foundation, blush, anything that's just gonna have like powder to it or be along my hairline. I do have to take a lot of care to not get those products in my hair because you instantly will see makeup in your gray hair. Something else that I really wish I had understood before I started this process. I was concerned, as every woman is, when you decide to go gray, what people are going to think about you. They're going to talk about you, what you're going to look like. You're going to have a skunk line. You're going to, look bad. You're going to feel frumpy. Like, all of those things are a concern. But now that I'm on the other side of it and I have gray hair, I wish I had truly understood then how little I would have cared going through the process.
That's what I'm talking about.
In my mind, those things were going to be a huge, huge, huge deal.
In her mind only.
And they are for a very short moment of time. And now that I'm gray, I really don't care what anybody else thinks.
And let me just jump on that. I had those same thoughts before I went bald. Oh my God. So I get it, lady.
And I wish I had known how unimportant it was going to be in the beginning, so I could have gone into it with just a little bit of a different mind shift, because it's just not important. Something else I wish that I had known is what my gray pattern was really going to look like. Y'all, I have so many colors of black, gray, silver, and white in my hair. I'm white in the
And that's what makes it look good, lady.
temples. I'm dark in the center. Let me turn around. Almost totally black in the back. I mean, I have so many
Black in the back.
variations of color in my hair that it is incredible. I didn't know this is what my natural gray pattern was going to look like, and still now, 2.5 years later, my pattern is still changing. Areas that were dark 6 months ago are turning lighter now. It keeps my hair interesting, and before I decided to go gray, I thought, okay, I'm going to stop coloring my hair. The hair that's gray is going to go out gray, and then that's going to be it, and that's what I'm going to look like till I'm 90. That's what I'm going to look like. And that is so not true. I covered up my natural hair color for 30-something years, and I had no idea what my pattern would be, where the gray was, where the dark was, and like I said, it's still evolving to this day, and it just keeps it interesting, and I wish I had known what fun it would be going into this process.
Did that woman say what fun it would be? Exactly.
And I truly do love the end result. I love the fact that I have variations and variegations and dark spots and white spots and gray spots. I feel like all the women out there are going to have such a unique and cool silver pattern. You just got to let it shine. Something I wish someone had told me when I was coloring my hair, that now that I have gray hair, I can certainly see about myself, and I see it in other women who are coloring their hair, is how bad I looked with dark, fake colored hair color.
Ooh. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Oh my gosh. Now that I'm on the other side and I realize that my hair,
Hold on. I've got to back that up a little bit. Come on, say it again, lady.
To love the end result. I love the fact that I have variations and variegations and dark spots and white spots and gray spots. I feel like all the women out there are going to have such a unique and cool silver pattern. You just got to let it shine.
Right.
Something I wish some...
Okay, this part. Listen to this. And this goes for the brothers too. I think this is what I was talking about when I was in the gym the other morning, and I saw this old guy walk in with just straight, all black, fresh dude right out the chair. I mean, I don't want to say anything bad, but I guess I just knew, and I hope I'm not sounding bad or judgmental. If I am, I'm sorry.
Someone had told me when I was coloring my hair that now that I have gray hair, I can certainly see about myself, and I see it in other women who are coloring their hair, is how bad I looked with dark, fake colored hair color. Oh my gosh. Now that I'm on the other side and I realize that my hair matches my skin tone and my complexion, I look so much better. I look natural, and I see women all the time who are my age, younger, older, who are dyeing their hair a really, really dark black, which is what I used to do. And I just look at them and think, ooh, I just want to tell them what I know.
Don't do it. You get cut. Don't do it, please.
I wish I could just share that knowledge politely without hurting somebody's feelings. But I know if somebody had said that to me back in the day, it probably would have hurt my feelings. But when you get to the point that your hair color doesn't match your complexion and your aging skin tone, that's really a good indication that it's time to stop coloring your hair. I wish I had known it, and I would have stopped coloring my hair.
And this is what I see. I see that people, I want to get off the women because I don't want to be, people just look at the hair only. They don't look at the rest of the skin, the tone, the texture of the skin, and just the hair, as long as the hair is not gray. But you've got all this dark or color that's not matching. It just kind of looks awkward. I don't want to say it looks bad. It just looks, I guess, fake is the word. I hope I don't get in trouble. I'm going to stop apologizing. I'm going to say what I mean. Swim.
Hair earlier, because those last 5 or 6, 7, 8 years that I did color my hair, when I look at myself now in old photos, I realize how bad I really did look because nothing matched. This is the one that's had the biggest impact on me now that I am completely transitioned and have gray hair. I have found that when I don't take care of myself, when I don't get up and get dressed in the mornings and fix my hair and put on, just a little dab of makeup. I don't have to have on a full face. I just need a dab, just like I have today. Some mascara, a little bit of blush, some lip gloss. I need on some jewelry. I just need to get myself dressed, because on the days that I don't do that and I'm hanging around the house in my pajamas, no makeup, and just, we have those days. Those are the days that I feel very frumpy, and to be honest, when I pass myself in a mirror, I feel old. Those are the days that I feel like my gray hair makes me look old. I feel old when I look at myself. So my gray hair has kind of forced me to pay attention to myself and how I look, and just put a little bit of extra effort into those things so that I feel
a little bit of extra effort into those things.
Feel good about myself. I feel good about the way that I look with my gray hair, because on the days when I don't take care of myself, my gray hair definitely makes me feel older. I wish that wasn't the case, but for me, it definitely has been. And I wish I had known that going into this process. Maybe it is just a me thing, but definitely if you're considering going gray, that's something that I wish that I had known. And then lastly, the very last thing that I wish that I had known about going gray. I wish somebody would have been able to just beat this through my head. Now that I'm on the other side, I completely feel free. I am free to be myself. Oh my gosh, I cannot even put into words how good it feels to just be free. To be myself, to be me, to not have to worry about the hair and the color and is it right, is it wrong, and the salon visits and all of the horrible things it did to my head. That's a whole nother video. I have so many videos on why I stopped coloring my hair and the reasons I hated coloring my hair. You can check those out. They'll be in the description box
I'm gonna look at them all.
below. But just the freedom and how good it truly feels to just be myself.
I can relate to that because I struggled going bald many years ago, and now that I'm bald, you couldn't give me hair. So I get it, lady.
Act my age, feel my age, be my age. The freedom is so, so wonderful. I am turning 50 this summer, y'all, and
she's young. She said she's turning 50, like she's 49, and already embracing a whole head of gray. You go on, girl. You go, girl.
I deserve the freedom. And if you're a gal who's considering getting rid of the hair color and going gray, think about your freedom. That is something that I wish I had known, and I would have stopped coloring my hair many, many years before. But thanks, ladies, for having a little chit chat with me about going gray and gray hair. It's truly been the best decision of my life. Getting rid of the hair color, going gray, being myself, embracing my natural gray and silver curly hair really has been life-altering to me, and I hope this video helps you out. And if you're on the fence, if you're thinking about going gray, just take to heart the things that I had to say, and I hope that they help you out. So until next time, I'll see you later.
SWYM. Swim. Say what you mean. As much as this information is designed to bring awareness to how we listen, hear, and process, it is also a form of therapy. The little person inside of all of us needs to be heard. As adults, even listening to ourselves is a form of healing, strengthening, and growth. It's okay to speak, talk, express yourself, and be heard, even if you're the only listener. If our testimony does anything at all for anyone else, that makes the continued effort worth the time. Get the words out. You'll feel better, and that's a promise. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
You know, sometimes it seems like all the good times are gone, but you got to keep on searching. You got to keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. For example, take me standing right here today. I would not be here with you if I believed the things that the people say. You got to keep on searching. Keep on searching. Keep it on the cool side. Keep on looking around.
Good night, everybody. Thank you again. Appreciate ya.